Everything's fine.
Famous last words.
Every time.
Well, welcome to episode 3 of the CoinFlow podcast. And
Hello.
this week, because I'm the one with the Windows computer,
You nerd.
I had to turn the graphics right down, but I've been playing The Six Dragons, which is the NFT RPG on Enjin, which will be available through Steam. I think this is just the alpha at the moment.
Mm-hmm.
And you can definitely sort of tell.
Yeah. But we're just gonna talk about it. We got some footage. We're gonna talk about it.
Yeah. I had to turn the graphics down a little bit to run it nicely on my computer because it's a bit old, but it still looked good. And the setup was quite interesting. Just before we actually start watching some of this footage, you sort of like sign in, you create your account, which is different from one that you create online. You just create it in the launcher itself. And then you use a QR code to sync it up to your Enjin wallet to sort of get the blockchain functionality. I think you can play it without blockchain though, because it did say like blockchain mode
really?
enabled.
Oh, that's interesting. So like a offline mode.
Yeah, I guess so. Quite a lot of the it's weird. The items sort of work in duality. There's like off-chain items and on-chain items, and you can move them on and off the chain to avoid like fees for trading in game. But then you can sell stuff for actual cryptos. Oh yeah, so it's like quite Valheim-esque graphically, I think. I've definitely taken some vibes from that. And then it kind of has it's quite old school in a way, but with a new spin on it. It's like the classic powers down at the bottom, bound to the numbers and stuff. It was weird, because when I'd sort of seen stuff about it before, it made me kind of think that it was going to be more Skyrim-esque, but I think it was more like RuneScape, especially with the combat, but like a first-person RuneScape.
Okay, so is it like single player or?
I think I imagine it's designed for multiplayer. I think maybe the alpha might just be single player.
Yeah.
There wasn't really any tutorial. So that's like the in-game shop. So that's not blockchain stuff. But yeah, there was no tutorial. They say at the beginning, oh, use these online guides. But I was like, mate, I've been playing RPGs for...
I've been around the block a few times. I think I know how to swing a sword.
Kind of just starts you in the middle of nowhere. When Grace was watching it, she was like, oh, is it Minecraft-like? And I can see because of bits of it, it does sort of have that feel that it doesn't really play like Minecraft at all. Quite reminded me of the Daggerfall remaster as well.
Yeah. Ooh, getting stuck on a fence there.
Yeah, I think there's quite a bit there. So this is the guy.
Some classic RPG. Okay, so this is the Enjin blockchain.
Yeah,
shop.
so if you said it was like on-chain to... it's like OC to BC, it's like off-chain onto blockchain, and then you can go the other way. And I think that's...
I guess that's for like minting items as NFTs to sell them in the marketplace.
Yeah, and for like creating your legendary swords and stuff. Once I turned the graphics down, it ran pretty well. Like, get some frame rate drop when there's a lot of mobs and when it's loading up, but it's mainly alright. It was quite fun, you know. I was pretty unconvinced to start with, and then as I sort of played a bit more of it, it seemed a bit like too alpha-y, but
Yeah, well, I mean, we've had trouble finding actually good games to play for this. So
to be fair, I'd say this is the best one.
Yeah.
I feel like if this is the alpha, by the time they get through to like release, especially if they did something with console, like got it on console, and then like that, just this, because of like being able to connect your Enjin wallet just using a QR code, I think is
Yeah, yeah. Well, if it's on Steam, you might be able to play it on the new portable Steam Deck. So that could be kind of fun.
Leveled up. Oh yeah, you see the like
Uh-huh,
skill
uh-huh.
tree. So
Ding,
it's
ding,
like
ding.
ability points, different stuff.
Wizard, warrior, cleric, and blacksmith. It seems a bit weird, but we'll
Well, I
just
think
roll with it. I suppose blacksmith is for like, actually, now that I think about it, for more than 0.2 seconds, it does make sense because the whole thing is about making
yeah,
items.
like making items is definitely a big part of it. They kind of gear towards that. I did kind of feel like a little bit, but I didn't know if it was just because it was the alpha that it was I don't know, a bit like just a people mine with a nice skin on it to like generate stuff. But I think it's got a bit more complexity to it than that. Do you see what I mean about the kind of RuneScape-esque combat? Like you wait there and you just have to deal with your cooldowns even on like your normal attack. I was struggling with my button setup to start with. I haven't played anything like this on the PC really with the button binding for a while. I feel like that was the charge thing. Yeah, I feel like graphically it was it's so Valheim inspired, and it just made me really want to play that. But oh yeah, look. So you just find like items.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, you look down at the bottom. So you've got like 1 is the normal attack bound, 2's like the strike, 3 is the charge, 4's the spin, 5's the firebolt. I think 9 is like turn your light on or whatever. But
Yeah.
7 and 8, it's your potions. I did die a couple times though, like especially when I was playing it last night, because the first thing that it asks you to do is kill 100 skeletons and 100 spiders, and it was pretty grindy.
Yeah, that sounds like quite a lot for the first for the first quest. Very classic MMO.
Yeah. I feel like it would definitely be a lot of fun. Oh, so these things over here are like the portals, and this is like in this area. If you see it up at the top right, it's like 1 to 5, and it just went up to 6 to 10.
Oh yeah, I see.
And it's like yeah, you enemies drop items, and I think they're actually blockchain items. And you use them to go through these portals, and those green ones are like the easiest ones.
So they're like
Yeah.
dungeons.
So I did one of those last night, and then I get I get absolutely
Lost the footage. You
I
got
get
wrecked.
absolutely wrecked when I go through this portal. But it was a bit random because the enemy like difficulty, they were like so powerful. They were like more powerful than the boss that I beat in the same dungeon the night before. So I couldn't work out if it was like scaling leveling, but then obviously it's got like the area level as well. So ooh. I loved all the loading screen arts. I thought they were really cool.
Yeah, I was gonna say that's quite cool. The music is pretty sick.
Bit
as
of
well.
dungeon synth, mate. But yeah, I definitely feel that this game has got some serious legs. I haven't played a blockchain game yet where I was like, oh, I could actually see myself getting stuck into this for a good session.
Yeah. Yuri.
Yeah, this is where I get absolutely crushed. So combat's quite easy, but I found that most of the times when I died, it would just be like I'd get mobbed and surrounded.
Yeah.
And if you can see like
Damn.
the levels, they're all like level 7 and 9. I think I'm level 4.
Oh yeah, yeah.
So they just kind of, yeah, this is where the game crashed as well.
Wrecked.
But then when I had to go back in there, so I lost that key, which was like a unique blockchain item that I used to get in there. So I had to go back and get another one before I could get back. It was quite frustrating. So yeah, I died, and I think that I would have actually spawned back at the beginning of the dungeon because it saved when you went in, and you do like save it like a single player game. But
Yeah.
I'm still not
okay.
sure if that's to do with the alpha at the moment.
Yeah.
I think it's...
So do you know like how far along in development it is? Like how long has it been playable? Do you know?
Not off the top of my head. A good couple months, I think. I think it might have been at the beginning of, or the end of last year, maybe.
Oh, fair enough.
But I think it was super early. And I know I think you can add it to your list on Steam, even though if you want to get this alpha, you've got to download it off the website. I think it was like 15 gigs of download, which isn't a busting lot, to be fair.
Yeah, not compared to most things.
I know I keep comparing it to Valheim, but that actually ran better graphics, smoother on a smaller file.
I suppose that would be a lot better optimized than this is at the moment,
definitely. Though I was playing that when that was still in beta as well, but open beta. But yeah, I definitely got kind of get the ESO vibes as well. That first person MMORPG.
Yeah.
So you can play it in third person. Like just on the mouse, you can sort of swing it in and out.
The environment looks quite nice.
This is
It's kind of pretty.
yeah, this is the graphics turned down quite a bit. Like when I had it on like the ultimate settings before, it did look awesome.
Yeah.
And there was some quite good. On the last one, I had some good footage where I was stood on top of a. Well, no, I didn't get the footage, but I was stood on top of a mountain and sort of looked out over this valley, and you could see all the different levels of portal, and they were all stretching out. You can see some of them in the background now, like in that bit of frame rate lag.
That is quite a bit of lag. Oh my word.
But if you see on the mini map, they've had like so many monsters just spawned around me, so it is kind of.
Oh yeah. Yeah. Like how big is the map? Like how big is the
I
world?
didn't reach the edge of it. I kind of feel like it might be procedurally generated.
Yeah.
Which I would kind of imagine. That was it. Like the terrain is quite plain. Like there's cool valleys and rivers and stuff, but I didn't really see anything apart from like views that made me be like, whoa. Whereas I think with anything, if it's procedurally generated, it kind of needs to have the ability to create the crazy stuff that you do come across in nature.
Yeah, definitely.
Like I'd love to see them pair this. I was thinking it while I was playing it last night. If they paired this with the Elder Scrolls 2 HD remake, and you could do like NFT items, and that would be really cool. But with the mining as well, I don't think you've seen me gather many resources yet. But you chop trees and you mine rocks.
Yeah.
And it's not like the Valheim mining, because the gravity system is sort of like really big in that. Like felling trees is a massive part of that game, but it's that much more like RuneScape. You sit there and you hack it, and it does the animation until it's done. Which is something like I don't know. I really liked it. I really liked the style of it. It was sort of the way it all mixed together was real easy to get into that I imagine it could have. Was that a little Sheba? Oh yeah.
We're going back.
Oh yeah, I've messed up real bad here. So I spent ages like trying to get a key, and then I realised that I like got the stuff to actually make the key from the blockchain sort of thing. And I was like, oh yeah, that's really cool. I'll go back to the village to do that, and I do this. I use like one of the alpha testing things to like fast travel myself back to the village, but then realised that I could access the blockchain shop from anywhere on the on the map. So there is a lot of me running up and down that road.
Mm.
No, I definitely like compared to Gods Unchained is definitely like works and it's functional and it's playable, but it's not.
I might have to disagree. That game has been very buggy when I've played it.
Yeah, fair. I've been alright on that one, but it was just kind of like it doesn't have the feel of like, I don't know, those card games never got me, whereas this is the first time I played a blockchain thing and I was like, oh, this is an actual.
It's a real game.
Look at that beautiful, beautiful afternoon. We missed it at the beginning, but so it's just like get quests from a quest board. The starting village was pretty limited. It was just shop, blockchain shop, and then you save the game by talking to like this monk. I kind of feel like to have the blockchain connectivity, there must be like quite a lot of stuff running in the background.
Yeah.
To be fair, the graphics do look pretty good for an alpha and like I did set it down to basically like not the lowest, but the second lowest.
Yeah.
Oh, here we go.
Mm-hmm.
You just chop the boy up.
Just chop, chop, chop.
A little spin there.
A little bit of flair.
I think like a tutorial, like I wish I'd sort of got a bit more into that. Maybe I'll go back and have a look and we can do another one specifically about just the blockchain functionality of it.
Yeah.
Because I think more like the thing which was just impressive to me is like it was an actual game. It wasn't just like a proof of concept. I think until stuff gets resolved with the ether gas fees, I think it's going to limit it a lot.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, like with all the layer 2 stuff and the roll-ups, when that becomes more prominent, I feel like blockchain games, they're going to have a much wider scope for the things that they can do.
Definitely.
Like if every game came partnered with or like bundled with some kind of roll-up thing, because obviously like with Gods Unchained, half of the whole point of that game is like forging cards and trading them and selling them, and you can't even do that. It doesn't even work at the moment.
Yeah, because of the gas fees as well.
Yeah.
I feel like that's kind of like the double-edged sword of Ethereum, isn't it? Ooh, a bit of banana bread. Thank you.
2 years into quarantine, he's still making banana bread.
Oh, fuck, that's good. Chocolate chip banana bread.
Ooh.
Oh, I did have so the only proper, apart from when I crashed out hard, the only proper bug that I had was when I was playing it and lost the first village, is my minimap glitched out.
Mm.
And yeah, there was no. It was like bugged out, full of monsters, but there was no monsters there, and it wasn't moving. So when I was trying to find my way back to the village to save, it was just.
That's a pretty load screen. The style of the load screens really reminds me of Guild Wars 2, if you ever played that.
Quite a bit ago. That was a good
It's
game.
got like... That was fun, yeah.
Yeah, I think the art style, everything about it, it feels like I definitely have looked it up before. I think the team's got like it's kind of that notice board there. That's where you get quests from.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And I think I actually have a little bit more of a look around. I lost my train of thought.
Getting stuck on another fence.
Oh, so yeah, it's that celestial shop was the thing that I realised you can access from anywhere around.
Uh-huh.
So, oh no, what was I talking about before? I had a really good point to make. Oh yeah. Where do I do it?
So, TSTD, is that like some kind of... Is that like the in-game currency, or is that some kind of like stable coin?
TSDT. I can't even remember.
Yeah.
It's oh yeah, so this was like off-chain portal keys. So I crafted it out of quest relics, which was like what I got for killing a boss and completing quests.
Right.
And I combined those to make a key. But I think you can then move those from off-chain to on-chain.
Okay.
And the whole off-chain thing is so you don't get slammed with fees outside of the game. Or like in-game. Like just for doing whatever. Oh, no, that's what I was going to say. I was be really interested to have another look. I know I looked at it before, but another look at the team that worked on this, because it feels like an actual game development team, and something that like, definitely tends to happen with blockchain, as you have a lot of like software blockchain devs bringing all this cool new stuff and then getting into a field which they've got no experience in.
Yeah. Yeah, that does seem to happen a lot.
Like particularly with some of the like Audius.
Famous for your hatred of Audius.
Yeah. That one that his name Three Lau, that American dude was doing, that sounded more interesting.
Yeah, that does look pretty good.
And obviously he's in industry and he's been working at NFTs and he's put the time in, you know?
And just the way, from what I read quickly about it, the way he's structuring it seems quite interesting. It's similar to like you see those companies buying up rights to songs and then sharing the revenue streams as like dividends, kind of like that.
Oh yeah, there is that service that's going at the moment. It's quite an interesting idea because, like, in theory, you could buy song dividends and then spend your own money pushing it, or like, I feel like there's a lot of ways to fiddle that. Like, you could buy some of the royalties of that song, and then if you were looking for music, you could commission it through your company. Basically use it as cash bag. That's another great loading screen, isn't it? The loading screens are so good. Oh, I think so. Something I had a look at the marketplace, which is something I should have done in this footage, which sort of takes you out to it takes you out of the game and onto a website. But oh, bloody hell, that's a bit loud. I think you can get dragon mounts and stuff like that. And mining that purple ore.
Gotta get some crystals.
I smashed through this one. All the enemies were way lower leveled, but I'm real like cautious at the beginning because I'm like, oh, am I gonna get tagged again? I didn't have enough quest relics to make another key, so I was like, gotta get to the boss fight. Pressure's on. I feel like the way it's built, it's definitely gonna be like full MMO style, because
Yeah.
like the idea of having a cleric class doesn't really work unless you've got party members.
Yeah.
I was kind of getting.
No, it definitely seems like it's got potential.
That's getting cool.
Like I've seen a lot of alpha games that are nowhere near this level of playable.
Yeah, definitely. I was getting like quite into the combat by the end. It's got quite a good flow with like the button combos and stuff. Backpedal. Spin.
Cleave. Damn, you're wrecking them. Gonna be the first professional Six Dragons player.
That would actually be fantastic. Just do one 40-minute dungeon, high-level dungeon a day. After 20 years of grind.
Yeah.
No, I really like the way that Enjin sort of has this. It works as a hub. I know we talked about it before, like compared to Iaxi as a single game. Like, Enjin as a platform has so much potential. And especially if they got into... I imagine that if you ever get a next gen games console, you're going to start getting crypto functionality or like NFT.
Yeah.
And that real soon.
The only thing that kind of concerns me about these sort of like blockchain adventure RPG games is, do you remember when Diablo 3 first launched? They had the real money auction house. It's like, obviously it's very similar to that, but the problem with that was at a certain point in the game, things would just get so hard that and the drop rates were so bad that you just couldn't progress without spending money.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's just one thing to like bear in mind.
Well, I think because they had all those issues within the Iaxi economy recently, where the utility.
Oh yeah, well they had to patch it, didn't they, to make the potions worse, so people would actually use them instead of selling them.
Yeah, it was the SLP had lost its utility use, which was for breeding the monsters. And it just become like completely unbalanced, which is kind of a bit concerning anyway. If it's real life money that they can just fiddle the price so easily.
But at least it shows that they want people to play the game, not just hoard resources, and because obviously it's going to make your game a worse experience for players, and it's going to hurt your reputation if people aren't actually playing the game. They're just grinding to sell items.
Yeah, definitely. It'll just cause a collapse eventually, wouldn't it? It's like not sustainable.
Yeah, it's like the gameplay always has to come first.
Well, yeah, that's it. Is people shouldn't be building games around the idea of like, oh, how can I make this a blockchain element? It's like, what can blockchain be used to act like?
Yeah.
Oh, so that's the boss. Kind of made me think of Sword Art Online, I'm not gonna lie. Like when you hit him and like the way the numbers stay up and move around you and like hover next to him.
Yeah. Oh my god, can they just hurry up and make like, full VR Sword Art Online?
Play it on hardcore mode, dude.
Yeah, hell yeah. Hook it into my veins.
They use a blockchain solution to make it so your computer just blows up in your face if you...
Oh god, this guy's pretty tough. He's got a lot of health.
Yeah, he has like a... So it's like a proper boss because like, he drops these abilities like the shield, and I think he uses a rage mode. and he uses that Firestorm one. Again, I like the design of the character and everything.
Mm.
I think it's hard to get into because when I first booted it up, it just drops you in the middle of nowhere with no explanation. And I just started killing skeletons until I got overrun and died, and then it spawned me back in the village. And I was just kind of like, should have probably just started me in the village.
Yeah. So what? So it just drops you out in the world?
Yeah. Not even a bit that I think I found my way back to.
Oh wow.
It's a bit weird. But I didn't know if that was the point, that you were supposed to just like fight until you got overwhelmed. I'd love them to.
Yes, if done properly, that could be interesting. But
I feel like it would be really cool to have some more story elements in it, and there's like not been any dialogue yet. I quite like 'cause I know like in Undertale, if you went down the destruction route and killed everything, and then it just wouldn't let you change your outcome, you couldn't play the game anymore.
Yeah.
I feel like with blockchain, there's a lot of opportunity to like bring that permanence to your story. Yeah. Like,
oh yeah.
in like a Mass Effect thing, it's like you've made this decision and that is in your game now.
Actually, yeah, that's a really good idea. I hadn't even thought about that.
Yeah, that's kind of like what does blockchain allow you to do in video games is ultimately it's like raise the stakes, which like straight up increases the payoff you get from it. It's like tried and tested. The more high stakes something is, the more people get into it. But it's like something like Life is Feudal, where when you die, your character, you don't respawn, you play as your character's heir.
Yeah.
So like, if say your game had used a ledger to record like your family history of every character, and once you died, it was permadeath.
See, I feel like if Star Citizen had started development now, that's the kind of thing they definitely would have gone down.
Yeah.
Whereas that game is it was so promising like 6 years ago, and then I don't think anything ever came.
I still just think like I played No Man's Sky as well, like, after they patched it all, and Elite Dangerous is still just the win for me.
Okay.
What did you think to that? Like watching a playthrough for it for the first time?
Yeah, it looked pretty interesting. It was kind of just the experience of watching someone else play a game and talk over it was a bit weird, but
No, it's just like me watching you play your pacifist monk Skyrim playthrough.
yeah, true.
Like that there, nice looking village. It is looking seriously good for an alpha. Like,
Yeah, definitely. You've got to give them that. Like
I maybe wouldn't recommend jumping on it straight away, but I'd recommend like making sure you know when it's dropping.
yeah, definitely one to keep an eye on. And yeah, like I said, I had trouble finding like actual blockchain-based RPGs that are actually playable. So at least they're like trying stuff and doing bits. And
I think the one that I'm next most excited for, maybe even more excited for, is that Big Time.
yeah, absolutely. But that's going to be a long way off, I think. But when that does start showing stuff, and yeah, I'm definitely excited.
There's been a bit of I think there's been a bit of footage, like a bit more footage of that come out. They got like 21 million in investment for it or something, didn't they?
Well, yeah, because it's like some of the biggest names in gaming over the last like 30 years. Because I swear, like the lead developer like was the the lead developer on Ultima Online or something, which is like the progenitor of the MMO
Yeah,
genre.
and they've got like
And
the
they've got
Fortnite devs,
people from World of Warcraft,
Gears.
Fortnite.
I'm pretty sure there's some COD and some Medal of Honor guys on there.
Yeah. So that game's going to be crazy.
Yeah, it looks really good.
It's like Animal Crossing crossed with like RuneScape. I can't wait.
Yeah, no, that was good. The Six Dragons.
Okay.
I wish there was a bit
Yeah.
more of it to play. I'll probably get stuck a bit more into it and maybe try and find some more footage, or we'll explore some of the marketplaces and the blockchain functionality of it all.
Yeah, you'll have to keep us updated.
Will you have anything more to add to that?
No, I think we're good.
In that case, guys, please, for the love of God, if anyone can find another blockchain game for us to play.
Please let us know.
Oh, what was that other one that I looked at the other day? Is that card one that I played?
Oh, yeah.
Splitterheads or something?
I have no idea.
Couldn't work out. I played a couple which were just like, I don't know. I played another one which was like some 2D RPG with busty character models that made me think I was about to get hacked.
Oh, my MetaMask. Stay away from my MetaMask.
Protect the MetaMask. Oh yeah, it was on my MetaMask actually. But then yeah, thanks for listening, guys, and watching, and I hope you enjoyed a bit of that, seeing me get killed and then charge it back.
The triumph.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, big love from us at CoinFlow. See you next week.
Bye.
Bye.